Greetings, I'm Barrett, and welcome to Meet Me at the Table. Today we're going to be doing an unboxing of Arkeis. This is a Egyptian-themed dungeon crawler that has been long waited for a lot of people. This was, in theory, supposed to deliver in December of 2020 from Kickstarter, and it's here now. Some Kickstarters have already been delivered. This is Colin's copy of this game. I'm excited to unbox this and see what it's all about. Now, I apologize, I might not know everything about this game because Colin backed this one and is really super excited for it. And after looking into this, I'm pretty excited for it too. An Egyptian-themed dungeon crawler, that's going to be awesome. Now, from what I understand, this does have a narrative that goes with it that can last up to, I believe it's like 30 hours. On top of that, there is a free dungeon crawling mode that is built into this game as well. So you'd have multiple ways of trying to play through this game. You get to take on the role of one of the heroes or multiples, and you get to even help each other out through different things in this game. Let's dig into it. Let's see what this game is all about. But it wouldn't be a unboxing if it didn't also come with one of the expansions here. We've got the Threat Beneath. Oh no, we've got two expansions, the Jewel Cult, and why not throw in a third one, Thus the Sphinx Cometh. And you couldn't be complete Kickstarter without some extra dice. And why not we put a bag in there as well. And to top it all off, we're gonna have a playmat as well. So we're going to unbox all of this. And if you're excited to see what's inside, then I need you to meet me at the table. Here's the box. We're going to take this off. It does say it takes about 60 minutes for ages 10 and up and is for 1 to 5 players. We're going to remove the lid, which, if you notice, did have a little bit different design on it because it was packaged with a thing around it. Here is the thank you note for the Kickstarter backers. This is the Kickstarter copy, so we are going to be able to dig into this and see what it's all about. We're going to look through all the things that there are for this game. We do have a rule book. I'll have to read through this. Well, actually, I don't have to read through it. Colin's doing this one, so he can read through it. The good news is this is what, from what I understand, is a lighter dungeon crawler. The page count for this is only 17 in order to get through this instead, as opposed to a normal like 50-some page rule book that I usually do. So he, of course, got the little bit littler of the ruler books here. He can read through this. So we're going to put this aside and continue on. The first two things we see on top is the Camp Archives and the Expedition Logbook. This is going to be technically your kind of campaign book. And from what I understand, it has a tutorial built in here. So starting at the first page, you would just begin the game. It has some introduction, it tells you some little things about it, and it tells you how to play the game pretty much as it goes through. The episode 1 tutorial is going to teach you everything you need to know from what I understand. This is going to be how you're going to lay out the particular mission you're on, and you're going to have a set of fate tokens. These fate tokens are used throughout the game. If you're ever told to take a fate token, you take it, put it in your backpack, and that can have ramifications later on, either in this mission or even in the future of the game. And of course, you can also change certain dice rolls by grabbing fate tokens as well. There's many different ways of gaining fate tokens. It's kind of I guess it could be a risk because you don't know how many it could affect you later. So not having fate tokens is better, but sometimes taking a fate token might be the only thing you have. Of course, you do get your character with your character boards and all that, and I'll show you that. I'm sure that's all in here. It tells you how you're going to set this up for the tutorial, and I believe then it's going to go through and teach you all the different things about the action system that you have. You can do 4 different actions: search, fight, support, and you can even move as well. And then you get to do 2 things a turn. And so all this is going to teach you everything about that. It's going to teach you how to do searches, which then you can use them to check off things. When you get back to camp, you can spend experience points to gain more cards and skills. You can also sell and buy gear, from what I understand. And here's going into the logbook. As you're going through, you're going to be doing what they have here. They call investigating, I think, is right here. You're going to be doing search actions. You're going to be investigating certain things. When you're going to be checking them off here and gaining certain bonuses if you get them all checked off. And then you put the epilogue sticker here to know that your quest has been complete. Put the epilogue for your episode here, and then you're going on to the next one, which would be the fall. This would be the very first one. So I'm not going to show you that because you'll be able to see that probably in a playthrough coming soon. Now, I know I went over that really quick, but I'll hopefully be able to explain a little bit more with the actual components in my hand as we go through. The next thing we have here is our camp archives, which is going to have episode 1, the trail. This is where you're going to have the stickers. So if you had a positive one, you take this sticker out, where if you had a negative one, you take the other sticker out and you put it in there, and then that's what would have happened. And if you've unlocked a positive epilogue, you have access to this upgrade in camp. You'll put that in your book, so you're all set to go. You'll be able to upgrade your camp. But this has all the, once you get back, once you're done with your adventure, you're going to see what happens, and it's all found in here. Here's going to be all of our punch boards. Here's our first punch boards. These are reroll tokens right here. So we have the ability to reroll things as we go through. The next punch board has our fate tokens. Here they all are. These are the fate tokens. These are going to be just chain tokens that might be used for some of the adventures. And this is going to be a time marker token. They are double-sided, but they are the same thing on both sides for those particular ones. Here we have some more reroll tokens, some experience tokens here. We have activation markers that are going to signify that things have activated as we go through the game. We do have some poison tokens here, and we have injury tokens on the top here. And these, again, are double-sided, but they're the same token on both sides. The next thing we have is going to be all of our different search tokens that we're going to be laying out, and then we're going to be able to search these and hopefully find things for our logbook or for the mission itself, and we'll be able to continue on. These are the different door tokens we're going to need in order to figure out how to get through some of those doors. And we have our coin tokens down here. These are going to be trap doors and staircases leading up and down into the different areas of the game, and these are, again, dual-sided and the same on both sides. Here we're going to get to all the cool parts of the game. Here's our player boards. These player boards are really super cool. There's a lot of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a Master Assassin guy. These now the way this works, this is really a cool kind of system. So you have your character here, and he has a little ability. That's cool. Now on top of that, you're replacing cards out here around this board as it sees fit. For example, you can find items that might help you search, but also you're going to gain traumas that are going to prevent you from doing well in searches or moving or a support or attacking. And the way you're going to gain traumas is by taking damage. As you take damage, when you take your 5th damage, you're going to remove all the damage from here, and then you'll draw the top trauma card and place it out where it's supposed to go in this for your character. If you ever draw one that you've already had or already have one in its spot, you'll just redraw. Of course, you'll find things in the game that are going to be able to heal you of these traumas, hopefully. At least we hope so. That's the plan. But there's Frank, there's Rebecca, there's Eleonora, there's Hyatt, Robert, and we also have young Robert Pierce. We have old Robert Pierce. These dual-sided. Oh, these must be some of the bad guys. Guardian Semkit. Maybe it's not. Master Assassin, Embalmer. Let's see what else we have here. We have Guardian Sobacht. We have Guardian Kefir. And Guardian Turret. I apologize, totally butchered about every name in that thing here. But I'm not sure exactly which ones I know you're able to use these guys right off the bat. These are kind of your main characters right here. So those are the ones you're going to have. And like I said, every one of them gets a special ability. It tells you the turn structure down here, so it's not even a separate card. It's just on your player board, which is really super cool. So I think it's kind of neat that they have those things. Now, of course, they're also going to gain things that go up on top as well. And some examples of those would be things like threat cards. They would go up here. And sometimes you can even start the adventure with a threat card. But if you do, you don't have to worry about the first action. But after that, you're always going to have to deal with it from then on. So we'll put these aside and continue on. These are going to be little tuck boxes for each of the characters. And you can play with up to 5 characters. There are 5 tuck boxes here for 5 characters. And they're just going to put them off to the side. But they're nice little boxes. You can store all your equipment and stuff you get in. Let's see what else we have here. There's one more tuck box. Not exactly sure what that one's for because I know you can play with only 5 players. Here are the dice. The dice are pretty cool. And I'm going to hold the dice because I want to show you what the dice are when they're interacting with the particular parts. First off, well, actually, I think I can show you the investigation dice. They're right here. And like I said, you're going to be rolling these when it comes to investigating. And depending on what you get, this is a sad symbol. You failed miserably. And then any of the other ones might actually unlock a certain part of that book, except for this one. This is a unique symbol. This one you can turn the die to any facing you would like at the cost of taking a fate token, which again, you don't want. In theory, you don't want a lot of those because they're going to pile up and potentially hurt you as the game goes forward. There's a few more cards we're going to take a look at. The first set of cards we have is all of our adversary cards. Now, it looks like a ton of adversaries, but it's not quite exactly that. But the cool thing about this is you never know what your adversary is going to do. For example, here are the scarabs. And I'm just going to show you this because these are the ones they show in the rule book. It shows you what they're going to be doing at the start of the turn. This is going to show you what would happen if you decided to do one of these two actions in the zone where this scarab is. Now, of course, you do a fight, you're going to roll the die. And if you get a check mark, you're going to deal with that particular one. If you get a X, you're going to deal with that particular one. If you get a exclamation symbol, you're going to deal with that. And of course, there is always this symbol again, where you can turn it to any side you want, but you gain a fate token. I think that's a really cool system. Now, there's different ones, but they're all the same enemy. So when you first encounter one in your zone, you're going to mix them up. You're going to draw one of them at random, and that's the one that you're going to have to deal with. And every one of these do have a different set of effects, but I believe the stats they have down here are all the same. I think they're going to be take one injury. I think these are going to be all the same, but what they do is their little powers here are going to be different based on the one you draw, which I think is kind of cool. So you don't just know, oh, I'm going to be fighting scarabs, I know they're going to do this certain thing. No, there's a chance it could do one of these 5 things, because there's 5 different scarab cards. I think that's a cool way of doing things and making it fresh. The next set of cards we have is all of those trauma cards. So when you take enough damage, you're going to have to draw one of these, and they're all going to affect you in a certain way. For example, this one is going to curse. If you take another support trauma, take 2 fate tokens instead of it. Oh, that sound very good. Let's see what else we have here. This is a broken thumb. Take 1 injury each time you do a search action. So you would place that next to your search part of your thing here, so that you know when that happens, you're going to have to deal with this particular thing. So you have that card available to you. And, well, I shouldn't say available to you, you're going to have to deal with it. Or you could get bloody eyes, where you're going to have to perform only 1 search action. Of course, there's one for each one. There's support ones. There's also one for movement. There should be one for fighting as well. Dislocated shoulder. When you use a fight reroll, or sorry, when you roll a fight die, you roll 1 less. That sounds absolutely terrible. Of course, you can, like I said, heal these with certain things in the game. The next thing we have is our powers. These are all different powers that our characters can have. And you're going to start with certain ones, and you're able to buy certain ones as you go. I believe you don't start with any. Maybe you don't. But I know you're going to be able to buy these as you go. For example, this one, if you wanted, would be 1 experience point. It would cost you that. And that would be at the camp phase. That would be after your mission that is over. And I can explore. When inspection die is an X, you can turn it to the, the candle side? Torch side. Candles. Who has candles? All right, and then in the tomb. And then we have this one, for example. He's unflappable. When he takes a trauma card, he may choose to ignore it and take another, which he must keep. So he must be more of a bruiser type character. This one says when she rolls the investigation die, she can roll to this side. Now, of course, there's multiple ones that level that for 1 experience and 2 experience. And as you go forward, you'll eventually be able to unlock a 3 experience type card as well. I don't know where those are, but it says in the rule book that there are 3 experience point card at some point. Let's continue on by removing this. I think we're going to be getting down to the miniatures. Yes, this game has miniatures. Let's see. We'll take this off right here. These are all the episodes that you're going to be playing through. And they're going to be having the things in here that it's going to ask you to gain or use during the time when you're reading through the logbook. It'll tell you probably to take one of these and do something in there. Of course, I haven't played the game yet, so I don't know if that is the exact deal here, but it looks like it has episodes 0, so that'd be the one we use for 0, 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 1.5, Night Raid. We'll have to see what that's all about. But it has all the different episodes in here, and we'll see what those are all about. Also, on top of that, we've got these neat door things. These are going to be the doors that are going to be in the tomb as we're walking around and going through it, and you're going to put those little door tokens in here, and you have to deal with those in order to get into the next area. So we're just going to put those back in here just like that. They do fit nicely, which is pretty sweet. And then we're going to have a couple miniatures here that we're starting to see them. These I'm hoping are going to be super cool, and I think they are. These look really well done. These miniatures look awesome. All right, let's keep looking. I'm hoping they continue to look awesome. That's the plan. Let's see here. This one looks like is this a skeleton person holding these things? That's pretty neat. All right, we're going to pull this off, and this is pretty heavy because it's holding all of those things, and it's really thick too, so all those different things are in there, and that's all like cards and things of that nature. And then we get to the miniatures. There's a ton of them in here, so let's take a look at these. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of them. Look at all these ones down here too. Oh my gosh, it'd be super good. All right, we'll open these up and see what we can see. I've zoomed in a little bit better, so hopefully you can see some of these miniatures really well. Here are those scarab beetles right here. They look really neat. They actually you have these, I mean, I'm excited for how detailed some of this. You can even see the shell on these things. That's pretty cool. Now, I don't know exactly everything about what we're seeing here, but even the scorpions have things on them. They have like these, almost like they're plated of some kind. And they've got this shielding effect here or something. I don't know, we'll see what that's all about. Look at this guy. Here's a snake, but he's not an ordinary snake. Look at this. He's got like metal plates on him or something. He's like a war serpent or something. I don't know, but it looks kind of interesting. We'll see how that transpires. Now, I don't even know what this thing's all about. Look at this thing. This thing's out of control. Oh my gosh. He's just like flying around inside this machine or something. There's a machine in there. Now, the cool thing is I'm really excited about these like undead type creatures here. Look at these. These are really cool. It's like some of these like tomb crypt, mummy and zombie type creatures. I shouldn't say zombies, but more like mummy type creatures. Look at this guy. This looks pretty neat. I like that. Now this guy looks awesome. This guy's gonna be like some kind of lich, something out of a like a Dungeons and Dragons campaign or something. Look at this guy. Oh my gosh, that looks so good. Well, I mean, there's so many cool things here. Look at this guy, just reach out and touch someone right here. Look at this guy. He's gonna reach out and touch someone. It's an AT&T commercial a long time ago. All right, so those are the first set of miniatures. Let's check out the second set. Here are the rest of the miniatures. We have, of course, these I'm sure are big boss characters. Look at this guy. Oh my gosh, look at, he's even got things inside here. It's this little dude inside here. It looks like something that is like kind of controlling it. It's like almost like a big mech type thing, but oh my gosh, this thing looks so cool. Look, it's even got a little hole through there. Now, of course, this is a little bendy. I don't know if these are those models that if you wanted to, you could put this in hot water, bend it to where you want to, put it in cold water and unbends. That's a trick for some models. I don't know if it works on these. This is the Sphinx. Look at the Sphinx. Oh my gosh, these are really good. I really like these models. Okay, I like these models. These are good. I'm excited for them. These are our heroes right here. They're shown in a different color. Of course, here we are. We got one of them right there. I think that's Elaine, or else that's Rebecca, one of the two. I think that's Rebecca. Then we've got this one here. This, I think, is that Elena or something. I apologize, I can't say that correctly. What is this? Is this that? This must be the brawler type guy that you can get. Yeah, it is. Look at that. You've already got kind of this this game does have a cyberpunk type feel to it. I want to make sure people understand that. So it's like what do you call it? Egyptian mythology meets cyberpunk is kind of, or cyberpunk. What am I trying to say? Steampunk, cyberpunk. What am I talking about? So those are all the miniatures that are coming with this. We have one more. Here's the little professor guy. He's right there. Okay, those are all the miniatures. Let's continue going. Next, we have kind of the board tiles, which are actually these room type things with actual walls, which is kind of cool. And on top of that, and you also have a free play mode. That is what all these cards are, which are going to help you with encounters. You're going to get different types of items and traps and things of that nature. Also, you can draw and figure out what areas you're going to have to deal with. For example, here's one where you have to deal with this particular thing while you're dungeon crawling through here. So there is a free play mode, and these are the cards that go along with it. Now, continuing on with what you have here, not only do you have this, but they do have different tiles that you can set in that are going to bring this game to life. So for example, oh no, you have to walk across the sand. You're going to stick this in here, but make sure you stick it in there so you can actually see the letters that are up on top. And there's ones that are not only 4, there's ones that are 1 long, 2 long, and things of that nature. And of course, these are all able to come out, flip around, do different things. Oh, we're still walking through the desert. We got to figure out how to get out of here. And this could be a whole mission in itself to get out of the desert, or then we get to the desert and maybe there's this. So this could be like your whole setup like this. It could be just like this. And of course, you're gonna have those doors and walls and things in this nature. Or these are the walls. You have those doors that you saw earlier. They're replaced here. You have those tokens in there. And you have to figure out how to get through those by drawing different type of door cards that go along with it. But of course, those I think are gonna be found inside of those boxes for those episodes that you saw. We're gonna continue on. There again is some more of the boxes that you can have, or the door things that you have that you're gonna have to deal with. These tiles look super cool. I mean, look at this one. And you can flip it over. Oh no, we're back outside. There's a lot of outside. Here's one more final one that has a few of them in here. So these are all the different layouts that you're going to have. And as you're moving, I believe using your move action, you're moving from tile to inside these tiles or into different rooms, depending on how many movement points I think go with it and everything. On top of that, this last box that I had that I wasn't sure it is, it's for the camp. This is for what you have in the camp. Say it may be cards you have that you'll be able to unlock and maybe want to get to other people, or maybe it's items that you've gathered along the way. But that's what this is for. So there you have it. That's, I think, all that's in the core box. Let's dig into some of those expansions. The first expansion I have here is The Threat Beneath. This is going to be a expansion for the game that has an exclusive adventure and creature, the Sandworm miniature. I'm excited for the Sandworm miniature. This is going to be super cool. All right, here, of course, is the Expedition logbook that goes along with it. This will be your quests that go along with it. And then here's some specific punch boards for it. Then we have, of course, the monster itself. The Sandworm has multiple phases, it looks like. We have this. What the heck is this? You may pay 3 coins to take the Galleon extract card from the camp box. So this might be something you could not only have to, you could face him maybe as the game goes forward, and you can in between things, or it could be an extra mission you do. But here's that miniature. Look at this thing. Oh my gosh, this thing looks so cool. I am totally going to use that in more than just this game. I might steal this one from Colin. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he'll forget that he has this expansion. Here's the cards that are going to go along with it, and I'm going to show you a little bit about this one because I believe since they're not inside those things, I can show you what some of the door cards look like and things. Here are examples of the door cards. I'm going to show you this one right here. This is the very first one you'll encounter in here, and this is episode 3.5. So from what I understand, you could play this in between 3 and 4. This might spoil a little bit, but it's just going to show you exactly how these door cards use. So say you interact with the door, you'll flip over this card and see what it says. Now these door cards are going to be kind of like experiencing the story. So for example, this one flips over, it says, "To your horror, you discover that the door leads to a dead end. Hissing sounds and red eyes lurking in the shadows invite you to find a way out. And fast. I have to add 2 knots of snakes to room E." So that'd be something I have to deal with. I'd have to put some snakes in that room. So that's how some of the rooms get populated. It's how some of the rooms, you have to interact with some of the rooms. Some of these rooms may even have challenges you have to deal with. And on top of that, then some of them might have to make you have a choice. You might have to choose certain cards out of here as to what you're going to do. They also have different search things here, I believe is what these are. These are the different search cards or event cards. I mean, there's so many cool things about this game. There's a lot of things that are going to happen. And of course, you've got this. If at the end, if you wanted to, you could take this with you. So this is just one of the expansions. I wanted to show you at least what those door cards were, because I think that's kind of cool. That's how they expand how the story goes. I think that's really neat. We'll put our little Sandworm card back in there. It doesn't really fit really well, but that's okay. We're going to put this here so I don't accidentally ruin it. All right, we'll put it all just like that. Put this back there, and we're going to go on to our second expansion, which I believe is going to be an extra character. The Jewel of the Cult, not the Jewel of the Nile. Don't get mixed up with that. This is going to be an expansion for the game that excludes an exclusive miniature adventure and Mima, a new playable character. So it's got both. So instead of a big monster, you're going to be gaining a new character to play with. That's pretty cool. So this is episode 0.5. So that's cool. So you can do the intro at 0, and then instead of going to 1, if you have this expansion, you could play this, bringing this character into the game that you can play with. That's awesome. And this is not dual sided. This is just the one single character. That's really cool. I'm excited for how this is going to work. So now I can now decide to go this way. So if you don't have these expansions, not the end of the world. You can continue playing. She has her own tuck box for everything she has. There's an adventure that goes along with it. And here are her skill cards that she has. And she even has a super cool looking sword that she can use. This might be what I might use this character. This character looks pretty awesome. I'm pretty excited for this. Maybe Colin's not going to get this game back. The more I'm opening, the more I'm discovering, the more I want to keep this game. The final one is a small box. This is Thus the Sphinx Cometh. I believe this is going to be an exclusive adventure for the game. It's not going to have any miniatures with it. It's just the adventure logbook, some extra trauma cards, some cards that go along with it. Looks like we do have some new tiles we're going to place down here and some new things here. Now, of course, all this is going to be for this particular scenario, and this is episode 6.5. So I'll bet this is going to be like the final big thing at the end here. So there's the Sphinx monster at the bottom. So this is probably a final boss you're going to have to take on. Even after you finish the game, you can try to go on to fight the final one, maybe the Sphinx. Now, I don't know how many adventures are in the actual core game, but I believe that this is 6.5. I'm getting there's probably at least 6 in there. So that's it for the expansions. Of course, we do have our bag here, which we can hold all of our fate tokens we've got as we go through the game, which will be awesome. Eventually this bag will fill up. And then, of course, we have those dice that are just better looking. I shouldn't say better looking, but just I know, they give you more variety of and more dice you can roll. Why not? And finally, we have the playmat. From what it looks like, I think it's just going to be a place to hold all of the cards that you're going to be using for the game, and maybe store some of the tokens that you're going to use for the game. So there you have it. That's it. That is the unboxing of this long-awaited game. And I saw this game and I thought about backing it. I'm super glad Colin got a copy of this game. I think he bought this copy, so I'm excited to watch his playthrough as he plays through it. If he gets it back to me, I mean, I get it back to him. Especially this one. I don't think we own that one. He doesn't own that one. I'm just going to keep this one. No, I'm kidding. All right, so there you go. That's the unboxing. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you know when the playthrough for this comes out. Colin will be doing this playthrough, so I'm really excited to do it. And if he enjoys it enough, we might actually do a couple playthroughs of this live to see how the story progresses through the game if we think this game is super fun and want to play it together. So I hope you did enjoy it. Also, don't forget to leave anything in the comments below. I would love to hear from everyone. Have you had a chance to try this game? Do you have this game? Do you know anything about this game? Let me know in the comments below. Also, if you're interested, you can join my Patreon. The link to that is also in the description of this video. Those that have joined the Patreon are found here on the screen. Thank you so much for your patronage. It does mean the world to me. If those that join the Patreon do get some perks, one of them is that any playthroughs I do, I usually put up a day or two ahead of time without commercial interruption, so you have a chance at watching those. Also, I let the Patreons decide how the game goes forward. So for this particular game, I would let them decide who we're going to play with in the playthrough. And then on top of that, then going forward, I might have them help me decide what upgrade cards to gain while we move into the camp phase at the end after each of these different scenarios. It's just my way of allowing our Patreons to give the ability to enhance or to affect the game, I should say. This is going to be super cool. All right, that's it. That's the unboxing. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, thank you so much for watching. And if you're excited to see this game or anything else, then I need you to meet me at the table.